Good morning, friends. It is Ann with Whimsically Nodded on a Thursday. I had to think there for a second. Sometimes I lose track of days. Does it ever happen to you where you lose track of days? And here lately, I don't know if it is because you're getting older, days go by faster and years go by faster. Or, you know, when you're younger, you can't wait till you turn 18 and 21 and go off to college and all the good things. And when you get older, you're like, my goodness, I'm 65 already? How did that happen? And I'm not 65 yet, but sometimes it feels like it. I'm going to pull you up on my iPad real quick. Just sometimes the years go by so fast, it feels like we just celebrated Christmas and, you know, another month from now in April, it'll be Easter. So it just goes by so fast. We are going to work on a thrifted surface. I got this at C-Van. It's kind of like a Goodwill, a thrift store. The donations there go to the Battered Women's Shelter. So the proceeds that they make goes to the Battered Women's Shelter. And it has the hook on here, so you got to make sure that when you put your project down that you put it on the right side. I've already cleaned it up and everything, but I'm going to take another paper towel and wipe this down one more time. And we are going to make a semi-Easter project. To me, it can stay up all year, but it is kind of geared towards Easter. And of course, you could always display this in a stand or lean it up against your mantle. It doesn't have to be just Easter. And I'll show you here in a moment what I'm talking about with being Easter. As you can see, where I sanded this off, we have all this white space. I am going to cover that up a little bit with some beige. And I am going to use the color Burlap by DecoArt. We're just going to add a little bit of burlap in here to make it match the sides. And I'm going to add a little bit of brown in there. And we're going to match that up a little bit. I'm going to use my 1-inch chip brush. I always forget what these things are called, guys. I just load my chip brush and then offload it. And I'm just going to go from side to side and just add this in here. And I see I have to get a lighter color because this is not light enough. I thought this would be a good match. So let me see what I can do here. I need more of a grayish tone to match this up better. But the browns in here match up really good. So let's see what color we can find that can match up a little bit better with this other color in here. So let's see what we got. Let's see, what is this one? The almondine is a pretty light color. We might just mix the almondine and the burlap together to create that color. This is Portobello. We might just mix the almondine and the burlap and the mix these three. Hey, Sherry! To get this tone right here, this color. Because none of these three, I'm trying to hold it up to where you could see There we go. Match. This one matches the best. So I am going to add a little bit of the almondine into this color, and we'll just make it work. And like I said, this is a thrifted piece. So if you sand off and you're trying to match your background, if you don't want to paint completely over it, just get some paints out and see if you can match them up better. And that color matches this much better. So I'm going to add a little bit of the almondine and make it just a smidge lighter. And we will match this up. So that's the fun thing, trying to play around and get backgrounds matched up. Whoop. I am going to use the same brush. Let's see what we can get here. See if we can get a very similar color. Oh yeah, this is a much better color. And we're just gonna go to the edge and just match it up the best we can. I'm gonna go to the other edge over here. Can you guys see good? I need to pull it down a little bit more. There we go. Sorry about that. We're going all the way down to the bottom. And all I'm doing is I am just taking a little bit of paint and I'm just going all the way to the edge and pull it in. And then I'm going to come back with the almondine and go back over it with just the almondine. I think this blended in really well. I'm going to get some of the almondine. So we used almondine and portobello to get that color. And I'm almost out of the almondine, so I'm going to have to get me some more. And I'm just going to turn this around. And we could have painted it a completely different color. I just liked the background. And I'm going to have to come in and sand that off a little bit. I've got a bit of paint on there. I've got a little bit of excitement going. And I'm just adding a little bit of the portobello in here. I think I like that. There's one spot right here that I don't like too much, so we're just gonna blend it out a little bit. And that's the nice thing, you can blend things out, you can add a little moisture to it and blend it out. That's the only edge that I got paint on. Let me get a wipe and we'll clean that edge up. I hope you will like this project today. I will just take a little Clorox wipe and wipe this edge off real quick. This is a distressed frame, so it is okay. It looks just fine. Go to this side. I'm just cleaning that extra paint that I put on. And like I said, this is a distressed frame, so it has the brown tones coming through on the black. I had to make sure I put it the right side. We will use part of this stencil right here that was the bonus in the Easter bundle. And we are going to use the birds and twigs or limbs out of the spring collection that was called Purged Birds. So we're going to make a collage, and I am going to dry this real quick just to make sure that this is dry. And I love using thrifted finds. I went yesterday and found several wonderful frames, I guess you could call them. Little ones, big ones, but they were all kind of like this. And a lot of them came from Hobby Lobby, and I just repurposed them. I just sanded them off. Another block that I found was this one. It had a saying on there. I sanded off, and it looked like it was never used because that is still on there. And the 6x6 fit on here perfectly. So be on the lookout for things like that you can use, and I'll tell you the size here in just a minute of this piece. If you are going to use transfers on any piece that you find thrifted, make sure that you clean the surface or paint over it, because sometimes they might have oils or other things on there that will prevent your transfers from sticking. Okay, we are going to use the top part of this stencil, and this set of birds is going in the top corner, and then I'm moving this one over to the bottom for just a little bit, and I am going to tape this off that I don't want on here. Don't want that, and I don't want him. So this is going in the top corner, and the nice thing is I can match it up so it will be sitting there perfectly. I'm gonna have to look on my iPad to see if I see comments. I don't see anybody else. It says there's 4 on, but I don't see I only see Sherry. Not sure what's going on with that. Yep, I only see Sherry's comment. All right, so we got our birds on here. Can you see good? I am going to use milk chocolate for the tree limb. And I'm going to go ahead and put them out on my plate. I'm going to use lush green for the leaves, because the frame is kind of like a farmhouse or primitive look, so I don't want to use bright colors. The birds are going to be in deep burgundy. I want to use muted colors like the primitive look would be. And my lettering is going to be in black. And I will distress all of that to kind of match. I don't want it to look brand new. I know it's hard to see, but there is my color palette. And shame on me, I have not washed my Essential Stencil dome brushes. These are the Essential Stencil dome brushes, and I have not washed all of mine. So I'm going to use this one for the birds, but I am going to do the limbs and the trees first, and then so since I haven't washed mine, these came from Amazon. They're cheapy ones. They are flat on the top. They're not domed like this. They work, but I would prefer my Essential Stencil ones. I will extend that limb out to the end. So we're just adding a little bit of color in here for our limbs. See if I can you guys still see if I move it down a little bit? If you are just hopping on, or if you're watching the replay, just let me know. I welcome everybody to my page. If you're new, let me know. I would appreciate it if you give me a follow, a like, thumbs up, hearts, all the good things. That's how Facebook pushes out the creator's contents. So if you would do all of those things, your creators will appreciate it. And again, I am not going for complete solid coverage here because see, I'm gonna use this one. Because the frame is distressed, so I want this to be distressed as well. This is gonna look pretty. Those colors are just beautiful. You're probably wondering, well, where is the wording going to come in from? One of the words is going to be down here, and the other one is going to be in the other corner. It will all come together here in just a moment. now the birds. I'm going to use the Essential Stencil. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate you commenting. I am not sure why I cannot see anybody else on, but it's just one of those mysteries. I don't even know if I'm going to put any other colors in with the birds. I will see once we are done with the birds what they look like, if I'm going to add detail to the birds. I'll probably put an eye in, but I think I might just leave them simple, primitive. And remember, these brushes from Essential Stencil, they have hold a lot of paint. That dome brush holds a lot of paint. So if you have open spaces, go to your open space first and then come from the edges in. And I'm sorry if I sound a little congested, it's allergies. But yeah, come from the outside in. If you're not sure if you have too much on your palette, on your paint on your brush, pounce on the clear plastic first and then see. Oh yes. Oh my gosh. This is much prettier than I even thought it would be. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a black eye to it. Does that not look really good with the frame? Does it not look primitive with the colors? Love it, love it, love it. All right, I am going to add words to this. And then I'm going to put the other set of birds on here. Let me see if I can get... I'm going to try to get this extended to the edge. I have to get a small brush to add. To make this transition a little bit smoother. Yes, you need to. Today is the last day. Today's the 28th. No, we have 28 days, right? Tomorrow is the last day. Tomorrow is the last day for free shipping. So if you need them, get them. Use my code WK21. Get 10% off and order them. You can just order the brushes and get 10% off and free shipping. So that's worth it. I am probably gonna, let me see where we have this. I'm gonna connect the limbs. To the edges right here. Feather it in. See, you get to do a little bit of hand painting. You can leave it the way it is. You don't have to do this, but I think it looks better. The bridges have to be there to hold the stencil together. And I'm okay with the limbs having different colors, just because tree limbs are not all the same. All right, let's go put some words on here. This one is going in the corner down here. It is supposed to lay this way, but you think it'll still look just as good if we lay it that way because it'll fit in easier? What do you think? Would it be okay if we lay it this way? I think it'll be okay. We'll try it and see. I think it'll be just fine. I've already got my black out. I am going to use my 5/8 inch brush from Essential Stencil. Load my brush. And then we will offload. It fits in better, and you can turn your stencils around. You're normally supposed to use them the way they are made, or cut. But if you are careful, you can turn them around. I think it looks just as good this way, and it just fits perfectly in this corner. And we didn't even need much paint at all. I will connect those. And I will sand this down to make it not so dark. I'm going to sand it down to kind of match this. Have a little bleed on the crosses, but I'm okay with that. That does not bother me. Because I'm going to distress this anyway. We'll go ahead and give our birds an eyeball. And I'll just use a little dotting tool from the Dollar Tree. Let me dry this. All right, now we are going to make sure you don't have no paint on the back side. Put our other limb in here. And let me see how far down. We are going to use this one in the upper corner up here. So let me see. I'll go ahead and stencil that in and then see where I want to move my birds to. So let's do that first. Have to get a little bit more paint on my brush. Got to get the top of that H. And again, I will sand over this and distress this a little bit so it will match the frame better. I'm just dipping a little bit of paint. I am not fully loading my brush again. But every time I get paint, I always offload it a little bit. Perfect. All right, everybody still here? You still with me? Show me some hearts, ladies. I don't know if Facebook is not pushing out since they don't want, they're only going to keep lives for 30 days. And that's another thing. Whoa. Where did that paint come from? Facebook is only going to leave lives up for 30 days. After 30 days, they all disappear. So if there is something that you like, you know, share it to your own page, or most of the creators, all of the creators are going to use YouTube. So I will also put mine up on YouTube. So check out my YouTube, Whimsically Knotted, and you can find my lives on YouTube. So please check it out. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay. cannot go too far down or I'm gonna so I'm trying to see which way. He is not going to be in the picture. I'm just going to use this part right here. So I can come closer here. He is going to be over the word risen, but I can leave him off and just have the branches. And then I'll have 3 birds. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it just like this. I'm going to tape him off. And I'm going to tape him off because sure enough I forget that I'm not supposed to do this one. Yeah, it's definitely something. So check out YouTube. I would invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And look at all the fun things over there. And I appreciate you going over there and watching. Support all your creators. This branch goes all the way up to the words, which I think is kind of cool because if you think about it, that the cross is made out of a tree. So I just thought, my thought with this piece was, the birds are singing because they are so excited that he has risen, and it took the cross for him to give us life in him. So I think this piece speaks a volume. And the red of the birds is for the blood that was shed. And then, of course, them singing. I thought about putting notes, music notes on here. That would have been kind of cool. To make it look like the birds are singing because they are happy that he is risen. Like I said, to me, this is not just a Easter piece. Making sure I got all my little limbs. To me, this is a piece that can be around all the time. Green. I'll tell you here in a moment what size this is. And I'm just excited that our Savior lives, that he is risen, that I have life through him, that he paid my debt that I could not pay. And our God is such an amazing God. I wouldn't know where I would be without him. That is for sure. I'll reload the brush. Yeah, I wouldn't know where I would be without Jesus. And if you like to learn more about Jesus, about verses, about prayer, I ask that you will join, or I invite you to join our Soul-Filled Saturday. Every Saturday morning at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, we come together, a lot of our faith-filled ladies. It is called Soul-Filled Saturday. We bring our coffee, orange juice, tea, drink, whatever we have, and we learn about prayer. We pray for one another. We have a lesson. We read two different verses. One is a prayer verse, and the other one is a, oh my gosh, yes. I'm going to have to see if I could find, I know there was a stencil that had notes on it. I cannot think of it right this minute, but if I find that, I'm going to add some notes to this. Because they are singing his praises for sure. But yeah, Soul-Filled Saturday, we'll just come together. We learn a lot. We pray. We reflect. It is just a very special time together. So if you are interested, I invite you. Just check it out. There is no obligation. You don't have to join a club or anything. It is open. Just come join us. Sometimes we will work in our journal. We are using a book that is called Prayer Journal. It has a lot of prompts like teach me, guide me, thankful prayer requests, things on my heart. So there's a lot of things that it prompts you. So come join us, see what it is all about, and maybe it will help you to fill your soul with joy, love, peace. Or maybe you find a new way to pray to the Lord and to give him thanks for what he has done, or ask prayers. It is open to anybody. It is not a club. Wow. Yep, then sings my soul. That would be perfect on here. I'm probably gonna get flagged for that. Probably gonna say you used lyrics. I gotta put some eyeballs in on those. He is looking that way, so he doesn't have an eyeball. Gotta connect these. Connect my limbs. And I hope you've enjoyed this time together today. I hear our chickens out there. They're talking to each other. All the chickadees. Hey, Miss Cindy. I am just connecting the bridges so that our limbs don't look like they are hanging in midair on our leaves. And like I said, I combined two different stencils. The He is Risen and the crosses are from the bonus pack out of the Easter bundle, which I absolutely love that. And the birds are from the spring release. And I was talking about adding notes, like little notes on here, like they are singing the Lord's praises. So I'm going to have to find me some notes. I know there was a Stencil of the Month Club one that had notes. So I'm going to have to find that stencil. I did not think about it until just now. Otherwise, I would have gotten that stencil out. And just add a couple of notes here and there. Let them sing the Lord's praises. And to me, this is not a piece that is just for Easter, guys. To me, it could hang out all year. This, to me, is a piece like the Last Supper. It's something that can be out. It doesn't have to be just for Easter. I'm checking to see that I got all my leaves and everything connected. Got one more section. I'm going to turn it this way. Not just for Easter. Hey, Barb. I am going to extend the limb out. I've got to lay it just right in order to do this. Now I'm just going to fill it in and try to hide that transition. And then we are still gonna sand the words and the crosses, because I wanted to match that better. I am going to add a little bit of brown to their beaks. Just to make them look not red. And it is very faint. You cannot see it much. And that's what we have right now. And there's the detail. And I am going to sand this back. The reason I'm sanding it back, I want it to look similar to the frame. You know me, I'll turn my project. And it is giving me that look right here. You can see that it is lighter. Doing the same over the Here's Risen. This is, to me, this is looking like a primitive piece. I am going over each letter individually to take some of that paint off. I didn't do full coverage to begin with. Take your brush, get all the dust out. And even the birds, I got very light coverage. I do want a little bit more on here. And I'm sanding very lightly. And this is a upcycled piece. I bought this yesterday at C-Van. And here's the details. See how his resin is a little bit distressed now? Now my only question, should we extend the heel down or leave it the way it is? I think it's okay the way it is. But what do you guys think? Should we extend it down? And while you let me know, let me measure, see what size this is. Thank you, Cindy. This is 15 by 10 1/4. And it has the hanger on there. So what do you think? Should we extend our heel all the way down or leave it? The reason why I think it is okay the way it is because you have space up here, and I think it is okay to leave it like that. And look at that. I got done in an hour. How about that? And the reason why I'm not adding, oh, I forgot one right there. The reason why I'm not adding any details to anything on here, I want to keep it primitive. I want to keep with a primitive style. I am pulling some of the color down so that the transitions are not as obvious. Oh, forgot one other one. See, sometimes you need to double check. Didn't connect my leaves here. I didn't connect the leaves right there either. I think connecting the leaves is what makes the piece. It looks complete, finished. Sometimes you just have to double check. I thought I got done, but I didn't. Got leaves that I've got to connect. Thought I got them all, ladies. No, I think we got them all. I'll add a little bit more right here. I think so too, Sherry. I think it is okay just like this. All right, let me pull a name and let you admire this beautiful piece. Miss Sherry going into the Happy Mail bucket. And then I'm going to draw a name for Happy Mail. And don't forget, Essential Stencil still has no shipping. So if there is something that you need, even if it is just a brush set or just one particular stencil, they have free shipping no matter how little or how much you order. So make sure that you get your order in while they have free shipping available. All right. Let's draw a name. We don't have many in here today. Miss Sherry is getting some Happy Mail. Miss Sherry, if you will give me, message me your address, please. And this will be your Happy Mail. That will be your Happy Mail. You got 3 of these beautiful handmade flowers with vintage buttons. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So, Miss Sherry, if you would please message me your address so that I can send those to you. That is your Happy Mail. And you know what? You could even take one of these and put it in a corner if you wanted to add flowers. You can add these. If you wouldn't have birds on here, you could add these to your twigs. And there's so much you could do with these, but this is your Happy Mail. I just need your address, my dear. You're very welcome. All right, ladies. I will be back on for Soul-Filled Saturday on Saturday. And then Monday at 7. So Soul-Filled Saturday, 10:30. It'll be March 1st, I believe. And you guys have a great day. That's 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. So you guys have a blessed day. Enjoy this beautiful weather. It's cloudy and overcast here today, but yesterday was gorgeous. It was warm. It's going to be like low 70s here today, 71. But it was gorgeous. Beautiful sunshine. And of course, my allergies are flared up. You guys be blessed. I thank you so much. Enjoy your day, your weekend, and I will see you either Saturday morning for Soul-Filled Saturday or then on Monday evening at 7 Eastern for our regular crafting and get-together. And like I said, I love how this turned out. This is a gorgeous piece for every day. And you guys have a wonderful weekend, not week.